Well, hello and welcome to the Friday night update. I'm here with Cornet. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
You're
My
having
laptop isn't doing that well, but
you're having a
I'm doing
few
okay.
laptop issues. I hear.
Yeah, but hey, that's why I have a phone.
Yeah, well, at least you're here. That's the main thing. We appreciate that. So, thank you for
Yeah.
being here. We are doing Week 44 update, which is improvements to kill list, headstone, and more. We've updated 6 more early game Olympus missions in our ongoing modernization of early Icarus content. So, it should be interesting.
Yep. Basically, following up on last week where they updated some of the early missions, they're now updating some more of those early missions.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, would you be so good as to take us through the first part whilst I am really quickly trying to get myself something to eat?
Sure.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
and to the people in chat, if we don't see your messages right away, sorry, I don't even have the stream up at the moment. Again, I'm working on my phone right now, so yeah, bear with us. Anyway, so we're following up with the second of our early missions revamps, this time addressing 6 more early Olympus missions. Strange Harvest, Headstone and Killist have received large-scale improvements, focusing on mission flow and player experience. This incorporates new features added to the game since we first made these missions, such as more creatures in the spawn pool. Agriculture, Voyager and Forsaken have received smaller updates to improve the player experience. Also, later on we get an insight big features coming to Icarus. We'll keep sharing details as we work towards bringing them into the game. So yeah, as I already said, it's basically a continuation of last week's work.
Yeah, and that prospector doesn't look like they're having much fun there.
Nah, it's just a couple of wolves.
A couple,
Walk it
there's
off.
one, two, three, four, five. There's one dead, two dead, three dead. Oh my goodness, that just does not look like a good place to be right now.
Walk it off. You're
Yeah,
man.
yeah, be a
You're
man, walk it off. You'll be fine. Alrighty, so we have Strange Harvest Revamp. Strange Harvest Bioresearch has received a welcome rework to improve the mission flow and player experience using new systems and changes we created for Styx missions. Players are now tasked with investigating toxins in the designated area and track down the original source, whilst previously the mission required players to collect the biosamples for the Sinotai faction. The UDA will provide some poison paste to help you with your mission and a new dropship location closer to your objective. However, the mission now provides new challenges and quests, so be careful not to take it for granted. Proper preparation is strongly advised. Well, trust me,
so.
Corny and I know about preparation, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do. We do. So
We don't.
basically, they kind of completely reworked this year mission.
Sounds like it.
So previously we had to collect biosamples for Sinotai. Now
Mm-hmm.
this mission comes from UDA apparently, and
Yeah.
instead of biosamples, you have to like investigate toxins and track down the original source.
Yeah. That's sounding
So
like an interesting mission to me right now.
yeah, it's almost like a complete new mission.
Yeah. But if I'm gonna have to start making a note of these mission reworks so that we can try and fit them all into the schedule and just see how they play out and how they're different.
Yeah.
I know that last week we managed to do One of the two, I believe we did the update, and then we did one of the two new missions, or revamped missions, and it was a lot of fun.
The second mission, if I'm not mistaken, the 3 scans.
Yes, yes, it was. It was a
Yeah, I
much.
kind of watched. So I also know how Karel lost his bow, his larval.
Yeah, yeah, that wasn't much fun. But the reality is that the introduction to the wildlife for that particular quest was so much more gentle than what we experienced as first-time players.
Yeah, no longer like 2 bears at the same time. Now it's just first a couple of cubs and then mama bear.
Yeah, yeah. So it did introduce the wildlife on a much softer scale. Um, Although I am going to say that it will, I think, it detracts somewhat from the excitement. I mean, I don't get me wrong. Sometimes getting pounced upon from all directions is not much fun, but it's just part of the game, and you have to survive and adapt and evolve in order to get round this, and that's what we did. So
Apparently, people were finding these missions too hard, like new people. Well, for those people, it's better now.
yeah, well, I can certainly see that point of view. Um, Although there is a part of me that really wants to say, you know what, if you want to see how it was right from the very get-go, check the Beta Sticks mission playlist, because
Yeah.
um, that was a real experience, and it was a lot of fun. The
Oh, it
challenge
was.
of the wildlife is half the fun, in my opinion, but that's me. I'm biased. I love this game.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah,
Anyway, let's continue with this week's update, shall we?
yeah, please.
Right. So next one is the Headstone and Killist missions.
Yeah,
These two
please.
have also been addressed with improved player experience and user interface access, both while keeping the questline consistent. Sorry, improved player experience and user interface across both, while keeping the questline consistent. The kill list now requires you to tackle a wolf pack and its alpha wolf leader. So our focus has been on improving this phase of the mission. The packs now spawn at clue locations, with the levels scaled more accurately to the selected difficulty, easy, normal and hard.
Hmm.
Wolf pack's anchored behaviors have been altered so the pack stays within 1,000 meters of its spawn zone. Okay, but that's like a 2x2 map grid.
Yeah,
That's quite far for a wolf pack.
that's a large amount of space.
Exactly. But okay. Map icons for the interactable targets are added when players reach a clue location. Good.
We like that.
Yeah. The quest clue locations have been reorganized so players won't have to backtrack away from the final target. Ah, good. So you don't have to first run up north and then all the way to the south and then back north again. It's
Yeah,
there now in one. It's going to make it a bit easier indeed.
yeah, for sure.
And we have added map prompts for the quest objectives. Well, it's indeed like making it a tad easier, this part of this, for new players.
Yeah,
Yeah, the change that the wolf packs now stay within 1,000 meters of their anchor point. Ooh, that's
that's
like I
a
said, this is 2 by
that
2 liquid.
yeah, that's a large area of map. That's big.
Yep.
Yeah. You're definitely running out of stam before you outrun them. That's for sure.
Yeah. And how do I go to the 2x2 map grid? Simple. The Olympus map is 64 square kilometers, so 8 by 8. The map grid is 16 by 16, so 2 map grids for a kilometer.
Yeah.
Well, actually, stays within 1,000 meters of the spawn zone. It means 4 by 4 map grid with the spawn zone in the center.
Okay. I'm just going to interrupt you there, and I'm going to say hello to Jason and Michael and Mike, who have all joined us in the chat. Let me just catch you up in what they're saying. Jason says, "Hi, I wonder if they'd remove the level 75 bear," and then says, "I think I'm going to wait a bit and then make you a new guy and redo all the missions." Michael then responds to that by saying, "Me three." Mike says, "Hello, my friends. Hello to everybody who's joined us in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. We so appreciate your support. So sorry we're late, but again, you know, life happens and we evolve and we adapt and we carry on. And it's good to see everybody here." Jason then says, "I saw someone test those wolf packs. They're lame." And then says hi. So I like how he jumps in with the comment first and then says, "Oh, by the way, hello."
Yeah. Well, we have done wolf packs
Hello.
before. They weren't too hard indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just pleased that everybody's able to make it. So thank you very much for being here. I will keep a closer eye on the chat now that I know that there are people in. I was just gonna jump to the microwave to pick up my supper. So, Carney, would you mind taking us through the next wee bit, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
The next bit is Headstone. We've streamlined Headstone, which requires you to deploy and defend uplink stations. The drop location has been moved closer to mission objectives, so less running, which is good. Survey equipment is now contained within the dropship to streamline mission setup and remove the opportunity for unexpected collision issues with the care package. I wonder whether or not they respawn in a dropship. Okay. And also, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one. Well, I'm completely talking from memory here. This is the one where you have to deploy multiple transmitters. If they're in a dropship, does every player have the total amount of uplinks needed? If so, you can lose a couple if you're playing multiplayer. Let's see. AI now also responds more aggressively to the transmitters, and it has been rebalanced with more creature variety in the spawn pool. Good. Mission items are now correctly tagged as quest items. To be honest, I didn't know they were incorrectly tagged, but okay. Transmitter health and progress are now displayed as quest steps. Easier to keep an eye on them. Good. Added more spawn points near survey deployment locations for attacking creatures. So they no longer come from one or two spawn locations. More spawn locations also means it's harder to predict where the animals are going to come from, which is good. Otherwise, the mission, if once you've done it like 2 or 3 times, it becomes too easy.
Yeah, we've had that on different missions. It becomes predictable if you know where they're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, with more spawn locations,
Yeah.
at least it's less predictable now. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that kind of challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the image we've got there is the sandworm in the desert. That's always a frightening thought when you're not expecting it, as we experienced a couple of weeks ago, because we ran right into
Yep.
one, literally.
Yep, popping up unexpectedly. Then, hey, what a
Yeah,
peep!
yeah.
I
Just
remember.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go back to the chat. Mike is asking, are the mounts live now? Sorry, life has
Uh,
kept me busy. Yes, they are definitely live.
yeah.
They have been tested thoroughly by Cornet at his outpost, and the result is the mower is good for transportation if you need the speed, and the
Uh,
buffalo is all right for moving stuff, but if over encumbered,
well,
is extremely slow and really not worth it.
so both the mower and the buffalo can carry 100 kilos, which isn't really a lot. The buffalo you can put a harness on, which gives you, I don't know, somewhere 15 or 20 slots, but only 100 kilo carry capacity. If
Hmm.
they're over encumbered, they are extremely slow.
To the
So
point,
you
to
don't
the
want to overload them too much.
yeah, to the point where you can move faster with 600 kilos in your backpack and the Neves pickaxe.
Oh, way faster. And it looks like the mounts, or at least I tested with the buffaloes. Uh, Unlike with players being over encumbered, doesn't matter how much over encumbered you are, you have the same speed whether you're over encumbered by 100 or 500 kilos.
Yep.
It looks like the buffalo, the more it's over encumbered, the slower it becomes. I haven't done extensive testing there because I didn't have that much buffaloes. I mean, I took 3 of them on a mining trip. They refused to eat and drink, so 2 of them died.
Yeah,
And
see,
was
now
barely able to
that that
rescue the third one.
that's an issue with these mounts is the fact that at some
Uh,
point they just stop. They won't eat. They won't drink. They just die.
there is an update for it in this very same update. So yeah,
Alrighty.
that's the buffalo. In my opinion, it should get way more carry capacity. It's a freaking buffalo. It should have muscles from here to Paris and back, which is actually quite far from here.
Yeah.
Uh, so it should have way more carry capacity than a MOA. Currently, they both have the same carry capacity, being 100 kilos. They were talking about a sort of talent system for mounts,
Yes, they
probably
were.
giving you options for extra speed or extra carry capacity for your mounts.
Yeah.
But still, I would say base carry capacity for the buffaloes they should increase. As for the moa, it has the 2-slot saddle. Like I said, 100 kilos carry capacity. I have not checked, however, whether or not the player weight is added to the weight of the moa. So if you carry like 100 kilos or 150 kilos and you mount the mower, will it then be over encumbered?
Yeah.
That's something I have not checked. I will do it once I'm back home in like a week and a half.
Yeah. No problem.
The mower is rather fast. I have to give them that. The mower is rather fast.
Yeah, it's
The
kind of speedy.
better, but if you have a mower as mounts, and especially when they persist between missions, also something they've been talking about,
Hmm.
making mounts persist between missions. So if they enable this persistence of mounts between missions, MOBA might become a good alternative for the plyometrics, the jumping costless stamina.
Yeah.
Because currently we use it as a way of fast travel, so to say.
Hmm.
And if you have a MOA from the get-go of your mission, you already have a way of rather fast travel, so you might respec your characters, take out the biometrics, because you use your MOA for traveling and use those talent points somewhere else.
That's definitely something to think about, for sure. And Mike Ladd was also wondering if the test servers were live yet.
Usually they are live on Thursday. Like, are they live yet? At the moment, I don't think so. I think it's all already gone to production. Well,
Yeah,
it has gone to production, but I think they, I don't know, they might have stopped the experimental branch, but it definitely, at this moment, does not have another version than production. At this
no,
moment, it has the same version as production.
yeah, that's true.
One last thing about the mounts, though. Do keep in mind it was just the first iteration of mounts 2 weeks or so ago.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yes, it's still a work in progress. And hey, at least we have mounts now, so we kind of get a
exactly.
feel of what it could be.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so shall we continue with the updates then? We're on to other missions. 3 other
Yeah.
missions have also received small updates and improvements. Agriculture supply stockpiles mission requirements will now scale more accurately with the selected difficulty. Voyager, the recovery has received a fix for the den interactability and reload issues. Forsaken, recovery will now identify items as quest items, which is good.
Okay. Agriculture supply stockpile is kind of self-explanatory. Voyager recovery. Can you refresh my mind? What did that mission entail?
That
If
was
you
the
look, for
mission.
example,
That
at
was the mission where your body disappeared and ended up turning up 100 feet up in the air. Where we actually
No.
had to sort of like go into the mission and find certain pieces and repair them and put them back. We had to repair the drop ship, and then we had to make it usable so that we could send it back up.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. The other one was Forsaken Recovery. What was that all about? Forsaken Recovery. Let's have a quick look. So apparently, yeah, it's a located dropship, repair parts of the dropship,
Yeah,
fuel, reboot, and then defend whilst the thing is rebooting.
yeah,
Okay, we will now identify items as quest items. Yeah, looks like more of a visual, like visual change, where a tooltip now says this is a quest item or something.
yeah,
Depending.
yeah. That
Maybe in
makes sense.
the mission objective list, top left.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we're on to Jason says, I hope your vacay is going well.
Let me tell you, today was the first day of my vacation when I woke up, got out of bed, where I actually put on a t-shirt, because it has been raining last night and temperature dropped down a couple of degrees. But then again, after coffee time, I didn't need no t-shirt no more. Still good weather here.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Save some for us.
Nah, I'm going to use it all, sorry.
Alrighty. Could you take us through future updates, please?
Sure. The next large feature in the pipeline is open world mode. We get frequent community requests for more persistent base building and progression in Icarus, like traditional open world survival games. At the same time, we also want to retain Icarus's unique session-based mission structure. So we are looking to add another game mode. Open world mode will be a more traditional survival sandbox experience, giving you access to the entire Olympus or Styx maps with no time limit and with all your progress persisting. Unlike Outposts mode, your character would earn experience and level up. When I was reading this sentence, I was like, I could be mistaken. However, as far as I know, in Outpost, you get experience and you do level up. It just takes a bit longer.
Yeah,
Anyway,
as far as memory serves, you get like 1/3 of the experience you would normally.
yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can drop into your own selected locations, which is different actually than Outpost, and return as often as you please, and engage with respawning world bosses while establishing your presence on the surface. You will still be able to play missions as a way to earn exotics and permanent workshop items by jumping back to the main menu and launching them from there. More details to come in the following weeks. This does look a lot like Outposts.
Yeah.
Especially, we have the full map for Outpost. That new Outpost, the new Outpost where the entire Olympus map has been, what's it called? Is the Daylight? Where you have the entire map as Daylight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this new open world mode does sound a lot like the Daylight Outpost.
Yeah, it's not it's not sounding too intriguing to me so far, I have to be honest.
Well, one thing is what they say give you access to the entire Olympus or Styx map. Currently, there's no outpost in Styx. So this open world mode would basically give you your outpost in Styx. Because again, with the Daylight outpost in Olympus, you also have the difficulty settings, easy, normal, hard. You have your predators. It's basically already the open world for Olympus.
Yeah.
But this game mode now also will give this for Styx.
Yeah. Mm.
We can build some massive structures in that Styx open world mode there. There's a couple of very nice cliffs which you can build up and around and stuff.
Sounds intriguing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, this again, this open world mode. It sounds suspiciously much like Outpost.
Yeah, to me, it's coming. I have to be honest to say it's coming across as an upgraded Outpost.
Not even upgraded.
Mm,
More like an additional Styx Outpost.
yeah. Mm,
Okay.
okay.
We'll
We'll
just wait
we'll
and see.
we'll go with it. We'll have to test it out at some point.
Yeah, once it's out. It's not out yet, so future content.
Yeah.
And with more future content, dedicated servers have also made progress with a range of technical issues and small edge cases complete, but a few outstanding gameplay impacts to be addressed. Large-scale internal and external testing is close. Yeah, dedicated servers, so we can run a dedicated server, meaning I don't have to host on my PC, meaning I have a bit better performance as well.
Yeah.
Also, dedicated servers, so inviting more players, fill up the team till the full 8 people. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of difficult to do currently.
Yeah.
It's too much of a strain on the host.
Yep.
Mike from chat says, would be good for when you don't have friends to go on mission with. Just another good option. I would give it a thumbs up. From that point of view, yeah, I would also give it a thumbs up.
Um, we're talking about the dedicated server
No, the open world mode.
and the world. So you mean you have the opportunity to walk around the entire map? Well, you already have that in the daylight outpost.
Yeah, but it means that you are able to do missions whilst having a persistent base that doesn't take
No,
you 4 hours to set up because you're gaming on your own.
that's wrong. That's not how it works. So, as it said in the update, you will still be able to play missions by jumping back to the main menu and launching your mission from there. I don't think you'll have your bases all pre-built. It's going to be a complete different mode. It's like mission mode versus open world mode.
Oh, right, okay. So I've misunderstood it then.
Otherwise, everything would become way, way, way too easy. Like you have your bases pre-built for each and every mission. A big base where you spend some time in between missions, like stocking up everything. And once you want to do a mission, you jump into that very same stocked up base, uh, equip yourself, and quickly go run a mission. Don't think so.
Mm. And Mike says, yes, I don't like outpost mode as it is less experience and no respawn. Open world will allow a hybrid of both. Mm, I,
Uh,
th- I think that's going to have to be tested.
Outpost, actually, you can respawn in your outpost, as far as I know.
As long as you've got a spawn point.
Actually, I know. I've had to do it. I was like in my outpost. I was like, what? Let's go kill a polar bear. Uh, I managed to kill it, but only after it killed me. So I had to respawn,
Yeah,
grab some armor from the cupboard, and go fetch my stuff.
yeah, yeah. Mike now says, yes, science time must be done. Oh, science must be done. Yes, it must. That's why we're here. We test it
Yep.
so that you know what you're in for.
So outpost you can respawn.
Yeah,
Just need the less experience. And actually, if open world is going to give you full experience, uh, then who is still going to play outpost?
that's a good question. You know, Jason says teching up to 4 has become such a habit now that I think I would miss it. I like the non-persistence. Well, I have to be honest and say right from the very get-go, beta weekend 1, non-persistence was part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, every single time beta weekend came around, you had to start your character all over again, and you were lucky if you could play long enough to get to level 40. I mean, die-hard players like myself were waiting for the update, and as soon as the update dropped, we downloaded it and you started playing, and you played for as long as you possibly could. And if you were lucky, you got to level 40, but it took you 48 hours to do that every 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you had to level up your character.
Yeah,
Once in the beta weekend you kept your character, it became easier, quicker.
yeah, you know,
Uh,
and
Checking up to tier 4, we don't do it on all the missions. Only the missions where we need to.
yeah, well, we go to tier 3 on an extremely regular basis. If we don't
Basically,
have to go to tier 4, we'll try and avoid it because it just adds that much time to the mission and it's just that much more grinding. But it doesn't mean to say, I mean, it's always good fun. We always enjoy it. It just,
oh yeah,
I don't want it to
definitely.
get, I don't want it to get boring for the peeps that watch us. Do you know what I mean? So if we can take that time down a wee bit, then that helps.
Yeah,
But I don't want it to detract from the gameplay itself because the gameplay for the people who've played it since day one, and when I say day one, I mean beta weekend one and two, because Cornet started in beta weekend two, I believe.
yeah, yeah,
Um, we have always experienced a difficult game, but that has been part of the challenge.
yeah, and part of the fun.
Yeah,
Easy
because
means
it
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 becomes boring.
yeah, it encourages you to practice with the bow so that you learn what the drop off is, so that you know that with a crude bow you can hit pretty much nothing except a rabbit and maybe a chamois, a chamois, with a one shot kill. And then as you get better with it, you can, it's like any other game. The more you play it, the better you get. The better you get to know the game, the better you get to know the mechanics, and therefore the better you can play it. And you know then where to cut corners and make things easier for yourself.
Yeah,
But I don't think it should be too easy for new players. Although I'm not disagreeing with making it easier for new players because we did have a hard time of it.
yeah, but yeah, it's only for new players. It's making those missions a tad easier for new players.
Yes,
The later missions are still challenging enough.
yes, but
But let's continue with the patch notes, shall we?
yes, okay. So we're into the change log, which I would like very much for you to kick off, if that's okay. We get into the
Sure.
technical speak straight away.
Now the changelog is basically all those new missions, what they have done.
Yeah, okay.
Which basically already has been mentioned in the text above. So let's
Yes,
see.
so the mission revamps have already been covered above.
I'm quickly going through them. Yeah, like every single changelog thing is those related to those missions.
Yeah, okay.
So we have
So
covered those already.
yeah, so we
So
can
we
skip
can
those and
go to the
move
fixed.
straight on to the fixed.
Yeah, the fixed rotation on the railing snap position for glass floors, which was causing railings to be at 90-degree angles. I haven't done that much glass floors yet, so
No,
it was
no.
the
I think
position
maybe in order to use glass floors, we might have to pop into my outpost and go back into the upside down pyramid.
yeah, yeah. There's you can do some glass working there.
Yeah,
So next one, delete a bunch of unused data type content which is causing assets to be unnecessarily loaded, taking up memory resources, increasing build size, and clutter content. Good.
yeah. Anything
More
that
memory
improves
improvement.
anything that improves performance, we have a thumbs up for.
Definitely. So the added text to clarify water requirements on crafting windows for cement mixer, biofuel composter, and electric composter. Okay, so I reckon in the tech tree or in the craft menu where you craft those things, I reckon it will now say you can connect it to water to speed up the production.
Yeah, like see how it'll say you need 500 or 5,000, whatever it is for electricity. It might say you need 2,500 water requirements for this to work, whereas it didn't before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah. At least they now know how much water you need, how much water pumps you need.
Yeah, yeah, which is
Here,
good.
a bug which I did encounter on my outpost. Fixed another bug with juvenile mounts disappearing when reloading a prospect. The freeze-unfreeze functionality for the Icarus NPC characters now stops all movement before freezing and uses only the character capsule component for train anchor bounce. The disappearing juvenile mounts, yes. When you were in the process of taming a mount, you logged off, you logged back in, those juveniles were gone.
Yep, yep, you did say that happened.
Hopefully no longer. Again, I haven't been able to test anything out. My laptop here, which currently isn't working at
Yeah.
all,
Well,
isn't really powerful for an Ecco, so I
I
haven't
hope
done any gameplay.
I hope you're carrying around a pen and a bit of paper so that you can make a note of all these things you're going to have to test when you get back.
Yeah, I'll try to remember it. So hey, by all means, if I forget to test something, feel free to remember. To remember me, like, hey, you still have to test this or have to test that.
Yep, I don't have a pen and paper handy right now, I'm afraid. Um,
Yeah.
but
So here, they added water connections to the masonry and electric masonry benches, which increases processing speed when satisfied. So now also masonry bench connect to water, and it will speed up the crafting of the items.
okay, never
Uh,
never really knew what the masonry bench could use with bit of water, but there you go.
it's already crafted stuff quite quickly. The normal
Well,
masonry bench,
well,
electric
hey,
even faster.
if you connect it to water now, it'll do it just that much quicker. But we actually tend not to connect stuff to water because we know how long it takes, and we kind of make allowances for that.
Yep. Also, having to build a water pump means you have to go to tier 4. Because the water pump is in the fabricator, I believe, yeah, as far as I know.
Which is probably why we don't make it so often.
Exactly. Well, hey, you can now hook up the masonry bench and electric masonry bench to the water to speed up the process. Alrighty.
Well, hey, hey, I'm just going to go back to the chat for a minute. Um,
Sure.
I'm just going to sit up a little bit because I'm too far away to be able to read that without my glasses. Give me a second. Um, Jason says, I wish I could have been in the beta." Um, and says, "I do all my exotics in Olympus." Yeah, we have a very specific mission that we use for Olympus for exotic hunting. Mike says, I like the mission modes, don't get me wrong, but I like friends on missions. That's where the OW would be an option, open world." And then says, "Who needs glass floors?" Well, actually,
Uh,
believe it or not, I need glass floors because my outpost building is an upside down pyramid and currently has interior floor panels, I believe, whereas I did want it to be glass, but there weren't any floors. So,
yeah, we constructed it before they got glass floors.
yeah, yeah. And then when they came in with reinforced glass, when they came in with reinforced glass, did we actually go back into my outpost and replace all the
Nope.
glass pieces with reinforced glass pieces?
Nope.
No, okay, so there's something we got to do. And
Sure.
that way the peeps can actually see my outpost. I don't believe the peeps have actually ever seen my outpost. They've seen yours, but not mine.
Indeed, I don't think they've seen yours yet.
Hmm. The only downside to that is the fact that I have to host and stream it. So it might actually be a case of if that might just have to be done as a video because that's going to stress my computer too much to host and stream at the same time. So
Yeah.
But we can discuss that at another point. But it's something else that we'll have to test for science. So somebody make a note of that, please. Thank you. Okay, so
Oh,
getting back to the update, we have adjust sandbank's LOD material roughness to fix inconsistency with base material.
visual improvement.
Yep. Ensure that the activation of the thermal component stays in step with graphical light activation. This means that the players can get a temperature buff when wood rag torch is equipped in light slot as well as in hand. So that
So if you're in the Arctic
at night,
and you get cold, you just light your torch even during the day.
yeah. So now you don't actually have to carry it in your hand to get that very small temperature increase that you got before they
Uh,
actually give us the
yeah,
light slot.
well, it's not going to be enough, I fear, for Arctic during the night. However, desert during the night might be enough
Yes,
to stave off the frostbite.
that's very true. It might actually help in the Arctic during the day if if it might just stave off the temperature long enough for you to get shelter.
Yeah, and maybe you can go with a leather armor and a torch into the Arctic now.
I wouldn't quite. I probably wouldn't chance my luck that far.
Well, you don't
But
have to
if you
push
want to
it
test
on
that part
Arctic.
for science, then get on you go.
No, no,
I
you
don't
don't
think
do.
I'm that brave.
I'll do it, no problem. One sunbreak.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll be coming for the heat to the freezing cold at that point.
I mean, just go into my outpost, put on the leather armor, go towards the Arctic, light the torch, and see whether or not I can stay warm enough to stay for frostbite. Easy enough.
Fair enough. Okay,
Right.
they have improved Scorpion physics asset to be more accurate by adding more smaller capsules to better encapsulate the mesh. Gaps between capsules meant projectiles could pass through without hitting. We've had
Mm,
that. We've had that. I've aimed for a headshot on a scorpion, and my arrow has went right through it, and it's not just the scorpion it happens with. I have encountered that issue with pretty much every animal. I'm set up for a headshot, and I try. I mean, hello, just go back to the triple F video and watch for the chamois that I can't hit. Nope,
yeah, but it looked away each time you shot your arrow.
nope, denied.
Exactly. I mean, you released the arrow at the point where it looked away. So of course you're gonna miss.
Yeah, I have had a headshot though, and it has gone straight. There's just no damage, no nothing.
Oh
Um,
well, that's good.
yeah, they fixed it. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
They adjusted the equation for the mammoth and the elephant stomp knockback velocity. This means that large mammoth boss and elephants should no longer be able to knock players out of the map. An existing bug, and quite a few players have suffered from this. They
Yeah.
got held across the map by the mammoth to out of bounds area and killed using all their equipments. Yeah, I've seen multiple people complaining about this.
Yeah. The, I'm sorry, that's really not funny, but I've seen videos of that happening, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's really
Yeah.
not hilarious for the people that it's happening to, and
Nope.
I'm really glad I've never suffered from it, but I can see how that would just be so funny.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's which is good for the. So you no longer get knocked to an out of bounds area
Yeah,
of the map.
I'm really glad that they fixed that, and I hope that the people
Yeah.
who've had that happen have been in touch with the gotten in touch through the website and tried to get their stuff back because that really really sucks. I mean, that is such a bad bug to have happen to you.
So here's the one I was talking about earlier. Mounts and juveniles can now eat and drink from troughs that are often nav mesh.
Good.
So they should no longer ignore the food or water trough right next to them.
Well, that's a relief because it means you won't be there is actually now the opportunity for you to be able to keep the mounts once you've actually captured them because now they will eat and drink.
Yeah. Good. So, fix an issue preventing heavy glass windows from being reinforced using a water connection. Also slightly reduce the health of these, so when we have a reinforced window, they now have the same health as the wall itself. I have been producing heavy glass windows on a glass working bench with an active water connection. They indeed were not reinforced.
Oh, I remember you could create them as reinforced, and then as soon as you pick them up and try to replace them, they become normal glass.
Nope, this was the walls. We're talking about the heavy glass
Oh,
windows.
oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm glad they fixed that.
Yeah. Prevent the graphic settings from being applied before the graphic system is ready. This means that resolution scaling now works correctly when DLSS and FSR are switched off. Good. So you no longer have to click when you click the mouse pointer if you're in a windowed game. Then the actual click was like a couple of centimeters above or below the pointer.
Okay.
It was a
Yes.
scaling, so they
Yeah.
fix it now.
Yeah.
Good.
I've
That's
had
good
that
to keep,
issue actually sometimes. I'm pretty sure I've got clips of it where my um I actually have to move my mouse like maybe a centimeter or two above what I need to access. I think it was early on. So I'm glad they fixed that.
Yeah, this was when you play windowed, not full screen. Because if you play windowed, it has to scale, and the scaling didn't work properly, and they fixed it now.
Good, 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 good.
Uh, fixed an issue causing the water trough to be labeled as storage and gaining the expanded alteration.
Oh, dang it.
Well, I'm not sure it did for me though. I have the talent. I've built multiple water troughs, but as far as I know, all my water troughs only had like one water slot. Or
Okay. Excuse
maybe it
me.
was just a label. I don't know. Tooltip.
Hmm. Well, they fixed it, so we won't be able to double check it, but we might just throw it in as one of the things to test for science, maybe?
Yeah, just check for sign. You don't even need to test it. You only need to check it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Added level scaling for mammoths and elephants, resulting in significantly increased health and minor increases to damage.
Elephants were a tad easy to kill. True. Like
Yeah,
what? 3 or 4 flint arrows and a cave bow, and a level 80 elephant was dead already.
yeah, well, if you go back to the last Triple F episode, you will remember the Down in 4 with Style,
Yeah.
which was made with a longbow and bow and arrows.
So yeah, at least they have more health now.
Yeah, well,
Significantly.
the mammoths were not so easy. They did take a couple of cave bows and a boatload of arrows.
Yeah, but those were mammoth bosses.
Well,
Remember,
yes,
last week's update brought back the mammoth into the Arctic zone. So those now also have more health and a bit more damage.
good. That just means they'll be more fun.
exactly.
Cool.
So, fix an instance of juveniles getting destroyed upon prospect reload. So basically, what was mentioned before as well.
Yep.
Remove the code that was automatically cleaning up the stuck NPCs if they had moved from their original spawn location 15 seconds after spawn. It's a good way that they were cleaning up those NPCs, because if the NPC gets stuck, it can't respawn, so you end up with not enough animals
Yep.
or a lot of animals in one place and lagging a map sector.
Yep. Yep.
Apparently, this also caused the juveniles to disappear.
Well, it kind of makes sense, really, doesn't it? Because if you're not killing the animals, they're still on the map, but they're not doing anything.
Well, I'm glad they stay now, so you can log off during the timing process.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Let's
a big one.
see. Remove the set item static entries from valid ammo types DT. Accidentally added in during data update, allowing the workshop consumable stacks to be fired directly from the weapon. I reckon without consuming the bundle. Because a bundle which has not been consumed, so not been unpacked, you could take backup.
Yes.
But you fire the arrows without consuming it, so you can then accidentally fire those arrows. You know how it automatically switches to the next arrow type if
Yeah.
one type, meaning unintentionally you use those arrows, you couldn't take them back up no more. I'm glad they fixed that.
Yeah, I have to say so. I've bought quite a few arrow packs and I've never been able to use them unless they've been unpacked, but then I've always unpacked them first, so never really had that
Yeah.
issue. Uh, Jason from chat says it does seem more fun in a party. Solo can be challenging. It can
Oh,
be,
true,
very
true.
much so. Um, but this is why we came up with Games with Peeps. So if you throw your information into the Games with Peeps room in the Discord server, and then we are going to see about getting more peeps in to game with us. So um, next up, we have added DT validation to prevent unwanted items being added into valid ammo types DT, which is linked to the one above that Corne's just explained.
Yeah.
Added recipe to craft bone from mammoth tusks at the cooking station. Ooh.
Okay, so now you can actually use those mammoth tusks
So now
for something.
you can go hunt a mammoth, take the mammoth tusk, take it back to the cooking station.
Yeah, cooking station.
Okay, so you cook it down into bone, which you can then turn into crushed bone, which you can turn into epoxy. That would be
Yeah,
interesting to see
or
how
you
much epoxy you get out of that.
Yeah. Something for you to test.
Definitely, definitely. Gonna have to get a couple of
So,
mammoths then.
go into any mission with Arctic entry. So any exploration mission, you can go kill yourself some mammoths.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Overflow bags generated when player respawns no longer simulate physics to prevent cases where they fall through the world. Falling through the world? I'm not sure I've seen that before. I've
I
seen people complain about how the overflow bag, the death bag, ended up inside a rock. So, an unmineable rock, so you were unable to get to it. Which were workarounds for, like build up a ramp into that rock, log off, log back on again, and then usually the loot bag rolled off that ramp. I wonder if that will still work now, though.
Well, we know that, like if we want to pass items from one player to the other, we always find a piece of solid ground to do it on because we've experienced going to throw something on the floor and it just falls straight through the world. So there's absolutely, you know,
This one actually specifically talks about overflow bags generated when the player respawns. So you die, you have no one around to revive you, so you have to respawn, and then
your overflow
your
bag falls through the world and then can't get to it.
yeah.
That
So goodbye
sucks.
space stuff. Goodbye space stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, at least it will no longer fall through the world.
Yeah, yeah. I hope we don't ever have to test that.
Well, we can test it. Just make sure you have no space stuff on you.
Or test it in your outpost, in which case you're gonna definitely have a spare set.
No longer, actually.
Really?
Yep. That
Oh,
item duplication has been fixed quite a few weeks ago already. The item duplication in Outpost.
okay. Dang,
Anyway, moving on.
I was getting used to exploiting that. I was starting to fill out my outpost, but hey ho, never mind.
So they reduced the threshold for times to get hungry and thirsty. So you definitely need to carry a food trough and a water trough with you now.
Yep.
Fix the stat assignment on the hunger modifier pointing to an incorrect stat.
Good.
So hunger modifier didn't work proper.
That would
Glad
make
I fixed.
sense.
Glad I fixed that.
Oh yeah.
So, and the last fix is they reverted some sRGB settings on map textures, which have not been brightened up via art pass, causing them to appear too dark.
Okay.
Some visual changes.
Yeah. Yeah. Visual changes are always good though.
Usually, yes.
Yeah, I mean if they add to how the game looks, then yeah, it's a good one. Okay.
Anyway, some future content. Again, as usual, not a whole lot of reference points, so quickly skimming through them.
Well, we've got pillars, stalactites, and stalagmites. I'm really gonna pick this one up. That is already a typo. Because one of
Which
those
one?
the the stalactites come from the ceiling, and that should be Stalac, and
Uh,
stalagmites because they
very
grow up.
nice.
They go from the ground.
Yeah.
So they've already spelt this wrong.
Oh.
That should be stalactites and stalagmites.
In British English, maybe not in Australian English. I don't know.
Well, that's the only reason that I know that. 'Cause
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that just set my OCD off. Sorry about that.
So let's see. They added in work in progress fur assets for the bat dog for fur creation. So we're gonna have a bat dog, which is gonna give us fur as well. I reckon Prometheus.
Hold on. Uh,
The fifth one.
that one? The fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes. Yes, there we go. There it is. And that would then be linked to this one down here that I did actually highlight with the carcass, respective textures, and fur.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's also going to be some mission communication device apparently. tier 2. A mission
Yeah.
communication device. I don't
I
know.
may I don't know. I was gonna say
No,
communication
we have
device.
like we have the map, we have the player location on the map, you have the chat. What else do you need for communication? Huh,
Um, maybe it's a communication device to get like maybe to do with a future mission where I don't know, we might have to try and pick up radio signals.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
Something to write then.
Yeah, just thinking out loud,
Yeah.
you know.
Anyway, adding P-Bird wing flap sounds, events and animation notifiers.
Oh,
P-Bird, you have
yeah,
an animal.
yeah. Do you know where my brain goes with this?
Yep.
Pterodactyls. P-bird,
Flying
wing flaps and sound events and anim notifiers. Pterodactyl starts with P.
flying flying predators. That's gonna be cool.
Yep. Unfortunately, you
But,
can't tame. I don't think you'll be able to tame these ones, so no saddles for them.
it ain't no Arctic, eh? This is Icarus. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to be interesting. Um,
Yeah. Also, this kind of concluded the patch notes as well.
it did indeed. It did
So,
indeed, and that's it. We have been through the patch notes. We've got a lot to think about. We've got missions to check and double check. We've got agriculture and Voyager and Forsaken to double check. That's 3 missions. So we have a lot to do in the coming weeks.
oh yeah.
Not to mention Headstone and Kill List, which are so that makes 5 separate missions that we're going to have to double check.
Yeah. Most likely we'll be doing a bit off camera because to cramp it all into the Friday evening gameplay, especially when there's more stuff in an update, might be a bit too much. So
Yeah,
we might very well test out some stuff off camera.
yeah, yeah. Well, we shall we'll definitely get them all, all this stuff tested. We will just we'll refer back to the updates and we'll see. We'll actually take some notes and we'll be able to do that for you. Thanks very much for being here, Corny. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time out from your holiday to to be
Yep,
with us and do this update.
of course. Yeah, I serve as your notification so you folks don't have to, you know.
Oh, bless. Mike says thank you both. Well, you're very, very welcome. That's pretty much what this is about, you know. And I'll say it on Corney's behalf, that is most definitely commitment, and we appreciate every single second of it. So for right
Yeah.
now, we are just about done. Do you have any suggestions as to what Carl and I can do for what you'd like the peeps to see?
Yeah, you could like especially the which is the strange harvest, which is like completely reworked mission. It might be
Okay,
a nice one to test out.
alrighty. Well, we can certainly have a look at that. I reckon Carl is who has been with us, just muted out because he doesn't usually join us for the update, but will join us for the gameplay afterwards, which is very much appreciated. So, Mike
Actually, if you
says
go to the Strange Harvest mission, you are right next to the Central Arctic, so you could check out some mammoths as well if you want to.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Jason says, thanks for the stream, guys. Have a nice night. Well, we hope to see you in about 15 minutes. I would aim for going for the live gameplay at 22:30 hours. That is GMT, which is still currently for the rest of October, UTC +1. And Mike says, I'd like to see the mounts. Sorry if I missed them. Well, you'll have a chance to see the mounts again once Cornet returns from holiday. And if I have any clips that I can turn
As I
into
said,
part of a video, then I will do that. As I said, my shortcut is
well,
not working right now. I'm having some serious
uh,
issues with it. Um, so
2 weeks
apologies.
ago, 2 weeks ago during Friday night, like the first after the mounts were introduced, we went into my outpost and we filled around a bit with mounts. So check the Friday night gameplay of 2 weeks ago.
Yes, yes, and I do actually have some clips of some of those mounts, which, as I said, if I can get into a video, if I can get my video editor to work, I'm doing everything I can to get a video for next week. So yes, you can double check to the gameplay 2 weeks ago to see how the mounts worked out for us. Jason says, "Oh, you're going to game? I thought you were taking the evening off." Well,
I am. Echo is not allowed to.
no, I'm not allowed to, and Carl is not allowed to. But Cornet has done his bit for this week, has taken time out from his vacation to join us, and we appreciate that. So, without further ado, we will let you go, and it is good night from me,
And good night from her.
and we will see you on the next one, which will hopefully be next Friday night's update. Until then, it's good to have had you all here. I'd like to say thank you to Mike and Jason and Michael. Thank you very much all for being here, and we will see you at 22:30 hours. So until then, just remember, peeps, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.